The Ballad of Buster Baxter is the second segment of the first episode of the third season of Arthur, and this goes very well with the first segment. The first segment, Buster's Back, is all about Arthur learning that Buster is returning to Elwood City after being away for basically a full season travelling with his father, and Arthur begins to have some anxieties about whether or not Buster may have changed because he's had a lot more experience and a lot more kind of life experience. And in this second segment, that is flipped, and Buster begins to worry that everything in Elwood City has changed. And the ballad aspect I will talk about in a minute, because I'm not the biggest fan of it. But the main narrative is Buster looking at everything in Elwood City and thinking things have moved on without him. Arthur, for example, has begun a checkers tournament with the Brain, because Arthur needed somebody else to play with. He hasn't transferred his friendship and loyalty to the Brain, but he has found a separate branch of friendship, and Buster feels a little bit put out, even though they do make every effort to try and include him, and there are various other examples of things where Buster has maybe been left behind. Not intentionally, but when you're away for a certain length of time, things are going to change, and it's a little bit heartbreaking to see that, Buster feels he has to do a bit of catching up. And that's completely understandable. I, as somebody who moved around a lot when I was about Buster's age, I felt that a lot. You go away for a couple of months, you come back, friendship groups have changed, dynamics have changed, in terms of schooling, teachers have changed and things, and everything's just unfamiliar. And it's going to take Buster some time to get to know this, but his friends do, very admirably, do everything they can to try and make him feel included. So the ballad aspect, I didn't like, although it did facilitate one bit at the end, which I'll discuss in again. Well, I guess spoilers from now, because I'm about to discuss this one bit. But the ballad is actually sung by this character with a guitar, this random character who kind of appears out of nowhere, and he starts singing quite frequently. And most of the narrative is also narrated through this singer, giving it the ballad aspect. And most of the song I didn't care for, but the sad, sad bunny verse I thought was beautiful and kind of heartbreaking and generally just a delight to listen to. Buster is a sad, sad bunny. Honestly, it changed my opinion of the ballad at that point. I also love the very end, where, as I said, spoilers, where Buster says, "So how long has the singing person been around?" And Arthur is like, "I thought he came with you." Then all of a sudden they just have a stranger danger panic and call for their parents, and it was just, yeah, I like the fact that they were addressing this singer. There's also a point where Buster addresses him directly as well, and that aspect of it I enjoyed, so it wasn't completely something that put me off the episode, but I'm not the biggest fan of that aspect, but nevertheless, the Ballad of Buster Baxter I really liked, and it's a great pairing for Buster's Back. A really strong first episode for this third season, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with his character now he has returned. Definitely think series 3 or season 3 is going to be a delight.